Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT News and another day, another major piece of 100 Thieves roster news. Ethan a couple of days ago seemed to be staying in the roster. That now may no longer be the case. Hiko seems to be gone as well. The replacements have very much surprised the majority of the community. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you were new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that one. Got like 200 more subs yesterday as well. So absolutely beautiful stuff. Firstly, we've got to talk Iceland real quick. The teams are off to the Masters. Trent and the Guards, they're heading out there yesterday as well. I believe a few teams flew out quite a while ago now. But yeah, the Guards are out there yesterday. Just some wholesome images and pictures coming out as a result of this one. Cool to see these young guys. Hopefully they do the best, do the best for themselves, their families, and also for North America as a region, because the pressure's on North America with the way that EMEA is right now and the frustrations that they've had and the players not being able to attend and substitutes and all this type of stuff. FPX not being able to go. That North America could be their opportunity to win a major event once again here in Iceland. We've got to talk about, quickly, the on-air talent was confirmed yesterday as well, but also the schedule that we looked at yesterday. I kind of brought up the schedule, the graphics, what's going to be happening for the entire tournament, but it turns out there's actually slightly more to it in terms of, which matches have been confirmed at which point to another. This is how it goes then. So the schedule is as follows. I kind of got it right yesterday that from the 22nd onwards, those are just the final 4 teams to the end of the tournament, but yeah, these are the matches confirmed for day 1 and day 2 then. So game 1 is DRX versus Zeta Division, then it's Crew versus Liquid game 2, probably the most exciting and interesting one of the day, then Optic versus Xerxes, which is also very interesting because that's kind of the X10 Crit series, or the X10 Crit guys, again up against the former Envy guys that they played, they played at Champions, and Envy as they were at the time didn't get the result they were looking for. So day 1, I think both of the second and third series very interesting. All the series are good, obviously. Fnatic versus NIP also the first game of day 2, and then depending on who wins, who loses, the rest of the games for the groups get decided up until Wednesday the 13th. Then on the 14th, we start with the upper bracket round 1, and then on Saturday the 16th, 2 teams get eliminated in round 1 lowers, and then on the 18th, 2 teams get eliminated as well. So that leaves 4 teams get eliminated after the groups. That leaves us down with 8. Then 4 teams get eliminated, or 2 on Saturday, 2 on Monday. That leaves us with 4, and then over 22nd all the way through to the 24th, we will of course determine the champion of the event. A team that's not going to be a champion at this event, but may of course be planning to in future events, is none other than 100 Thieves. Rumor has it Derek might be going to the 100 Thieves roster. That seems to be the most likely outcome, at least at the present time. The Rise Nation squad having exploded, their players are going to go here, there, and everywhere. Sova for Rise Nation, of course, Derek being, and Supermen and Poised seemingly going to FaZe, as we looked at last night. But this, the kind of a major update really on the 100 Thieves front. Ethan says this yesterday, stream after practice today. George Geddes reckons he's a bit of a troll because, maybe this isn't actually the case. As in, Ethan was not practicing with their main roster yesterday because the updated roster seems to be something like this. Of course, this is currently rumors. Apparently, this is going on at the present time. Just because this roster is currently being played with doesn't mean the team is going to work out in practice behind the scenes. Doesn't mean they're going to stick with this roster and 100% guaranteed sign these players, but this seemingly is who they're screwing with at the present time and potentially want to make their full-time roster. So 100 Thieves yesterday have practiced without Hiko and Ethan. We kind of knew that Hiko was going to be gone. Ethan being gone is a bit of a surprise though, because of course he was the in-game leader for this team briefly. That didn't really work out. DDK and Sean Gares come in, of course, to turn this roster around. This is seemingly the roster they want to go with. So Asuna is staying, Bang we kind of knew was staying as well, Derek's coming in. The question mark is, who's the other 2 players you want to bring? Seemingly, Will and Stella are those other 2 players, and Will's status being unknown, while the other 2, that means Stella and Derek, are very close to signing. So Derek, I think, is soon. Stella might be coming in as their in-game leader. Pretty interesting, because they had JC Starney, who maybe could have IGL'd. They decided to go down this route instead. Nothing is done yet, though, very early, as Geddes points out. So this kind of is the article as it explains right here. So Bang and Asuna, with Stella, former, Saw in-game leader Stella, built by Gamers player Will. We'll have a look at their history together in a second, and Rise player Derek, according to multiple sources. So this seems pretty valid. Both Derek and Stella are close to signing. Hiko and Ethan both remain under contract with 100 Thieves, but as for now, not in the starting team at all. Will's situation currently unknown. So maybe they're pretty keen on getting Stella and Derek in alongside Asuna and Bang, and then the question is, who's going to be effectively your jet player, your duelist player that Will has been for Built by Gamers. So this is a potential roster. Stella, Will, Asuna, Bang, and Derek. Very interesting team if this actually goes through. Not the one that I think a lot of people were expecting, because we talked about Wardell, right, all these potential options. But these guys, very solid players, very respectable players from kind of the North American second tier, effectively, and also a lot of history. Very interesting, like at Will's history with Bang, also Stella's history playing against 100 Thieves over the last several weeks. We'll have a look at it in a second. Now, the players kind of react to this. Stella comes out with a kind of a salute emoji, right? Kind of not wanting to say all that much on this issue. And even Will says, he actually quote tweets this and says, "What, I'm joining FaZe." I believe some pros were saying this report is BS. And George came out and said, look, it's not BS, it's real. This aligns with the fact and what he's hearing right right now. Of course, look, just because this is happening right now, as I say, doesn't mean it's 100% guaranteed to happen and to go through as a roster. But as we say, Stella, Derek, Asuna, and Bang, if they are close to signing, then, maybe that is the 4. Whether Will's there, that's a bit of a question mark. Speaking of Will, then, this is his VLR.GG profile. Played with Gen.G recently. Before that, the Built by Gamers squad before they kind of broke up, I believe, at the start of March. But you can see, like, last 60 days, mostly played Jet. After that, played Raze, right? So he's a duelist player. He could be a player to come in here. Now, interestingly enough, he played with Bang in this series when they were kind of trying to qualify for Chanders 1. They lost this series to Rise, right? The Built by Gamers squad. This is the team of Will, Boy, Bang, Bjor, and Poach. But you can see right here, like, Bang, of course, third on the team. Will is plus 17 with the Jet, right? Pretty good series from him, up against a very solid Rise Nation squad, of course, with none other than Derek on the team. So you do have to wonder. Bang comes into 100 Thieves. Derek comes into 100 Thieves. Sean Gers and DDK are asking these guys, okay, look, who do you think would be a good fit? We need a Jet, we need a duelist. Like, who do you think is a good fit? They say, okay, well, if I'm Bang, I played with Will. He was great for me when I played for BBG. And Derek's like, yeah, damn, that guy fried me in that series we played. So maybe that is part of the decision to give this guy a go in their practice seemingly over the last couple of days. Now, on the other side, of course, we've got Stella. This is kind of his VLR profile. You can see, maybe that's just fully on screen. On the left-hand side, it's pretty small, but he's a Sentinel player. We've got Chamber, Killjoy, Viper the last 60 days or so. Also, the in-game leader for Saw Gaming that have had some great success as of late. So this honestly could be a very interesting and maybe intelligent pickup and a good, well, finds 400 Thieves if it works out for them. This is a series they played during the kind of recent Boom TV Proving Grounds. We talked about this series at the time on March the 15th, where Saw 2-0'd 100 Thieves. Their squad of Bang, Ethan, Hiko, Asuna, and JC Stani, as it was at the time. And when this happens, it was starting to become clear that, like, yeah, okay, if you're getting bodied by Saw, then in these online tournaments, probably you're not going to be good enough with this 5-man roster to actually make it all the way through. And this was a team IGL'd by Stella, right, in that in-game leadership role. So very interesting, right? Stella on the Chamber, like, of course, Hiko being the kind of Sova player in this series. Maybe Derek comes in his role, like Ethan is gone and Stella's in there instead as the IGL. Maybe they're going for that kind of trade. Something that adds a bit more credence to this, people like Reddit detectives were honestly out of control, but people were mentioning that, Bang's kind of a tracker.gg profile seems to show him playing a fair bit with some of these guys over the last few days. This is a particular match I found where, Bang is playing right here with Saw Stella in this, in this match they win Fracture 13-2. I looked through a few games, I saw quite a lot he played with Stella. I didn't see one where he played with Will, even though I think people said that he was playing with Will at one point or another. So maybe that does make things even more likely these guys have been spotted playing together recently, which, of course, when things like that happen, probably something is actually going on there, right? This also even more credence to it is because 100 Thieves come out with this video yesterday. Hiko reacts to 100 Ethan's best and worst Valorant clutches, which, of course, generally, when 100 Thieves make a video with players, it's pretty much 2 days later where they all get dropped. So, we shall see if this happens, but it's a kind of a historical thing with 100 Thieves that they seem to do a video with players and then immediately they're gone. So just something for you guys to keep your eyes on for sure. So yes, this kind of to sum up the rostermania. Derek, Bang, Asuna, Stella, and Will might be the 100 Thieves squad. GMD and 7, of course, joining TSM we looked at yesterday. Gen.G need 2. And the rest of these moves we've looked at some point or another over these last few days. This I thought was pretty funny from Ye, because the pros have definitely been throwing some shots, I guess, the journalists and this type of stuff the last few days. Sources: Wardell joins 100 Thieves. He flew out to South California. Wardell doesn't leave his house unless it's important. Which team headquarters are in South California? You guessed it. 100 Thieves, maybe. So maybe reading into things a little bit too much. But yeah, it doesn't seem like Wardell is going to be kind of the jet hopper for this team. They might be going down the Will route instead. Interesting stuff. You guys can definitely leave your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Just to finish off with this as well for Will Minder. Nice, another beautiful graphic right here. Masters 1 regional comparison. Players in first blood success rate. This, I think we looked at these stats a few days ago. The fact that Marved is way above the pack, but like this from less is just unreal. And also the fact that Marved plays so many different agents and still has a 65% first blood success rate is absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, Mixwell up here, Yay up here. Pretty cool to see this cross-region comparison. But two players from Loud, right, the Brazilian #1 seeds, less than Aspas, like 72.5% first blood success. Is this guy absolutely out of control of the Killjoy? Now, in fairness, there probably might not be the biggest sample size for this region, right? And like, probably the sample size is maybe the disparity here, that there might be less matches and stuff that you can take this data from, so maybe it gets skewed to a little bit of a degree compared to North America and Europe, but still, these stats are pretty impressive. We'll see how this works out when we get to the major, but of course, a lot of Optic players appearing here actually, which is pretty impressive. Anything 55, 60 and above is very good over a pretty solid sample size, and this is a nice little clip from Vality to finish out the video, but very much intrigued to get your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit a like button, tell us the YouTube gods, this is a good video, others like you should see it as well, and help grow the competitive Valorant community. Thank you as always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.
Too long.
Probably
Jet mid.
Garage. Running garage.
Jet mid.
Go see.
Up, shot.
I'll see.
Blind, I'm blind. Garage window.
One enemy remaining.
Oh,
Garage.
Spike down. C.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, let's go.
Spawn. Watch top round.
Backside.
One backside, one backside.
One down.
Spike down A.
In spawn upping, in
Yeah,
spawn
30
go
upping.
seconds left.
Or maybe not upping, but...
You're the guardian. You dropped
You
his
have
off
knives. You have
chamber.
knives. Go crazy.
Last player
Two
standing.
holding, two holding.
3. I got it.
One enemy remaining.
One.
Oh my god!
Nice.
Oh my god!